Anthem Blue Cross and Common Threads are helping schools across the country learn about healthier food preparation. And here in LA, they're joined by the Sparks and will provide education, recipes, and knowledge to students and families about healthier options. Learn more at anthem.com/ca/sparks. Anthem Blue Cross is the trade name of Blue Cross of California.
Check out great deals throughout the store at Safeway. This week at Safeway, get mega packs of USDA Choice boneless beef chuck roast for $3.97 per pound with digital coupon, limit 2 packages. Plus, Hass avocados are 10 for $10 member price. And get Fuji apples for just 77 cents per pound with digital coupon. Also this week at Safeway, get selected varieties of Lucerne milk gallons for the member price of $3.99 each when you buy 2. Visit Safeway.com or head into your local store for more deals.
Times of old, in times of new, there's a God to follow to make it true. It's the pop culture field, and you will.
What's going on, party people? We are back with another episode of the Pop Culture Field Manual podcast, sitting right at the intersection of weapons, action, the military, and pop culture. I'm one of your hosts, Cameron Fath, and I'm here with my other host,
Israel Wright, yes, former Green Beret. It's really good to be back, and we have a very special guest.
Yes, we do.
For all of you, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce to you my good friend, actor, martial artist, fight choreographer, and trainer to the stars, Peter Thomas. Peter, thanks for rolling over.
Check. Am I on? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Peter, welcome, man. It's really good to see you. You and I have been friends for a while. It's been a while since we've seen each other.
Yep.
And so... give us like maybe the 5-minute version of your life in the entertainment industry, where you are, what are you doing now, how do you get there,
Thomas?
Who is Peter Thomas?
It's been a long road since we've moved here, just about 12 years ago, and you know, it all started off with just a dream. I used to drive up from Orange County and train with guys like Dan Southworth, who's one of the Power Rangers, and he's a good buddy of mine. And I used to have to commute all the way up to train with these legends at a place called Valley Gymnastics. And
you've been doing this for a long time.
Yeah, I was doing that for a number of years. He kind of took me under his wing. Then I met other amazing people like Mike Washlake. Don't tell my
He's
second.
going to hear this and he's going to be like, fake friend.
I wanted to call him his nickname, but that wouldn't be proper.
We don't give a shit about that in this podcast.
But Mike Washlake, Dan Southworth, friends like Arnold Chan, and all these great people in the stunt world, they all just pretty much took me under their wing, and it's something that I've been wanting to do since I was a kid. The first time I watched Phantom Menace in the theater, I saw Ray Park do, you know, his bit with Darth Maul, and I thought there was a moment there. It was a pivotal moment for me because I was already kind of training that style of martial arts. We had a little bit of blend of wushu. We had a blend of Vietnamese martial art called Bao Trin. And my teacher, Tony, at the time, he was already working in Hollywood. And in fact, he was on the Mortal Kombat TV show and a bunch of other things. I remember that. So as kids, as 12, 13-year-old kids, we were already training like stunt performers.
Wow.
And that was around the same time when I had seen, you know, episode 1 Star Wars. And when I first saw Ray do the butterfly twist and all the cool moves that he did, I thought that's exactly what I want to do with my life. So, you know, just the rest of it was history.
That's cool, man. So you and I met at a local gym here in town, and you were the kickboxing coach, and I was one of the coaches in the gym. And so, is that now? When did you start getting into like? You've done training, of course. You've been a trainer, and you are a trainer now. What about like stunts and fight choreography? When did that kind of start becoming like more and more actually like a part of your life? Or I don't know if you ever like pursued it like ardently. I feel like you're just in it now, you know?
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's, you know, again, the lifestyle of a creative person is it's a blessing and a curse, and it'll never deviate until the day you die. But, it's been a long road, and, it all started with just small little projects, doing stuff for college, you know, film projects and just little student films.
You and I got a little something out there on YouTube with that rooftop fight scene.
Yep. Just practice, you know, just the learning is in the doing. And so just getting a lot of practice, getting your buddies and and having, you know, concepts that you'd like to see manifest. And so we started that way, and then that kind of just took its own course. I got very lucky at a young age, just before moving out here. I wasn't even in LA yet, but I used to double David Carradine before he passed away.
No way. David Carradine.
Yeah.
Kung Fu David Carradine.
Yes,
no way.
The legend.
Wow.
You know, he was like a father to me. And it was one of his last projects just before he had his incident. Sadly, you know, gone too soon. But that was kind of the start. And that actually was, you know, that position was given to me by a guy named John Crane, who's a stunt coordinator. What's up, John? Good to see you.
Nice.
He's a great guy.
Shout out.
And John gave me this position. And it was a small little film called Night of the Templar. And it's a small
Sounds mysterious.
Yeah, small little film, but David was in it, and Udo Kier was in it as well. So we got to talk. I think Udo was in the original Indiana Jones. He played the German, the nemesis of Harrison Ford. So I got to spend a lot of time with these two interesting men and just learn a thing or two about show business and just kind of how it works. And I was talking to the crafty people and the other actresses and actors on set, and just kind of getting a vibe for that world that I was about to endeavor in. And from then on, it just kind of blossomed. And I got, you know, a bunch of other little things that I worked on throughout the years.
Yep.
And fast forward, I met Miss Halle Berry.
Whoa,
and
yeah.
I got a call.
Sweet. Give me an autograph.
I got a call from some, you know, mutual friends of hers, because I was training a Chinese artist. She's a musician.
I remember
from
she used to
Beijing.
come into the gym.
Yeah, her name is Kat, and
Super cool.
and Kat was really, really close with this inner, you know, small group of performers and dancers and artists and singers and whatnot. And so, as the story goes, I realized that there's this kind of strange sensation within me that already knew what was going to be next. Whether you call it manifestation or, you know, just divine intervention, but it was bound to happen. And I just figured, you know, in my head, I was saying this like, oh, wow, how interesting would that be if I started training Halle Berry? And a few days later, it happened. And I got a message saying, hey, Halle wants to meet you. She's seen your stuff. And she's, you know, she needs a new trainer because the other one just wasn't working out or something. I said, yeah, I'll come over, you know, I'll come over to the house. You know, I just played it cool, but inside I'm like dying.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You know, I normally don't get starstruck, but being who she is and being a fan of her work, I realized, wow, this could be something really interesting, you know, for just, you know, the sole purpose of getting a client that is that reputable and having this one moment to just to shine and to show that, hey, anyone can do this just with a small dream. You know, you have this small little moment, you know, and you just follow the path of what your main heart's intention is, and it can take you anywhere, and it can bring you to really interesting, curious places.
Oh, that's wild.
Wow, dude, you have an amazing story. I knew it.
Yeah.
Before we
You've been
started
chomping at the bit.
man. Before we started this podcast, I was like, I want to know your background, but I'm not going to ask until we're on air because you seem like a very cool guy, and wow, man, that's awesome. So could you tell us a little bit more about like Halle Berry, as far as just because we know Keanu Reeves and like especially from a military perspective, like his weapons training for the John Wick series, like Keanu Reeves is shooting 2-gun, like we've all seen the videos, and the dude's just an absolute monster when it comes to just that firearms. How was Halle Berry's transition, or did she have prior firearms experience?
Did you have a hand in John Wick 3 or getting her ready for that or anything like that?
You know, it's interesting to think about all this because Halle one day asked me, Peter, I have an audition that I need to prepare for. Can you help me, you know, shoot an action, like a little segment? And I went, you got to audition for stuff still?
You're Halle fucking Berry.
Monsters Ball?
Yeah, you call
Academy
people
Award
and tell
winner?
them you want to
Yeah.
be in their films, and
Yeah,
they say, okay.
they call you.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
call
You're a Catwoman. You're Storm.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you talking about? So I said, of course. And so Sunday rolls around, and my friend Marco Zaror, good training buddy of mine.
Great. Our action star, Marco Zaror, shout out. Yeah.
Yep. We're going to be working on something very soon with him. So
You got to come back and tell us about it. Yeah.
but Marco is a great guy, and he said, of course, I'll be there. And Tony Diaz is another amazing friend of mine, and Tony works for National Geographic, so I knew I had the right people there to make this look polished. And to conclude here on this little story, Hallie was originally using this footage for Avatar, and so we made her fighting style. I designed it to where she looked like a Na'vi character, where she was going to have these primal movements that would just showcase her skill set. And she wanted it to be no green screen, no wires, no special effects, no makeup, just her and me and just real action. And so I trained her for this. And one day on a Sunday, we just knocked it out in a couple hours. We didn't eat anything, and we have this funny story where we're just like eating salt because Marco is this massive health fanatic, and he's like, man, you just need some salt and the 72 trace minerals. So Hallie and I are eating salt and like
horses, salt layers.
And surprisingly, it worked. It like satiated my hunger, and I'm like, let's just charge through this.
Marco.
That's
so
awesome.
We filmed this thing in her backyard, which looks like, it really does look like you're in the Japanese bamboo forest, and there's these like 150-foot bamboo trees all around you, and it looked awesome. I'll have to send you guys that footage of this fight scene so you can see it.
Absolutely.
I've seen it.
That'd be awesome.
And so, so what happened with that is she met James Cameron, and for whatever reason, it just was kind of pressed on pause, or I think they went another direction. If I can recall, I believe there's a specific type of technology that's not out yet, and James, being who he is, he wants to be the first and that person
It's always
to do it.
Pause for a couple years. Wait for the technology to catch up to his vision.
Exactly.
Exactly. And so with that being said, nothing became of it. But because of that, a gentleman named Chad Stahelski, the director of John Wick, the stunt double for Keanu Reeves in The Matrix, and that's how that relationship started. And he also was the stunt double for Brandon Lee in The Crow just prior to his passing.
Wow.
Chad and I later on, I got to train with Chad at his school called 8711 Action Design, and I was there Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6:45 a.m., hard, long. It is the most jarring 2 hours of your life. You are in a room full of the best stunt performers in the world, and that's where Keanu trains, Hallie trains, everybody and anybody. Charlize Theron trained there for Atomic Blonde. Just to give you a little bandwidth of what goes on there. But anyway, Chad saw this footage of Hallie and I fighting each other, and he goes, that's really good. Who filmed this, and who's that guy? And this is great. So he later on connected with Hallie and said, basically she painted the picture that she wants to be in this movie because the script was given to her, and they were thinking about putting a female assassin, if I remember the details correctly, and that was it, and that's how that happened.
Dude.
So
Wow.
I got her prepared for it, and then with that, she then was training with 8711 and got really prepared for this because there's, as you can see, all the tactical stuff. So she went and trained with Terran Tactical and and all those guys, and great people, and she was just fully immersed in the world of an assassin, of a tactical
cold-blooded killer.
Yeah, man, she was a cold-blooded killer. And
She got those dogs.
Yeah, the canine fight sequences. Oh my god,
and that was all real. Those dogs actually jumped up that wall. And
Absolutely.
That is unbelievable.
Like I've talked about canine capabilities in like the Gameology videos that me and Israel do, and those dogs are no fucking joke. Like they not only go from bomb detection, but we used to be able to use the lasers on our weapons and like reel them in, get their attention, kind of like a cat with a laser pointer. And like you could get their attention and shoot a laser into a doorway like 100 meters away, and that thing would just like a fur torpedo take off and go into this. So you can actually control the dogs with your weapon, and it's like they are such an asset to like a working platoon. I'm sure it was so much fun for her to be able to work with those dogs.
She fell in love with these dogs.
Absolutely.
She's a big animal lover on top of it. So she has dogs of her own, but these were like a whole nother caliber of just these.
This ain't your lap dog. This ain't no Pomeranian you're walking around Beverly Hills.
And they're in the middle of Morocco filming this, partially in New York, of course, and then most of it in Morocco, especially her scenes. because she comes across as a very ethnically ambiguous woman, and so
Could be from anywhere.
Yeah, and I actually worked with a SEAL team member named Brandon Andrews. He was an active SEAL team guy, and I got to travel there. He was a consultant on this film called Game Therapy. Funny enough, it was an Italian American co-production, and it did fairly well from what I hear. But Brandon and I had some great stories to kind of cross over with as far as martial arts and his tactical stuff. So
really?
That was the first time I ever got to like hold these insane weapons. Like I was shooting Uzis, and the Moroccan military brought all these weapons. We had to count every round and pick up every round
every
that we
piece
fired.
of brass. Yeah.
So yeah, it was a wild time. But going back to the John Wick thing in Morocco, she had the greatest time over there and learned a lot. And of course, when it comes to fight choreography and fight design, what you practice in the gym, oftentimes and more times than often, it changes on the day of the set because, you know, there's stuff.
Physical considerations, space considerations,
absolutely.
Time
It's
considerations.
Hey, you're training this on a football field, and all of a sudden you got to do it in a bathroom stall, like a John Wick, type of sequence.
Yeah, a close quarter battle,
Exactly.
like in a tight pinch.
So things change on the dime, on the fly, all the time, and you have to be able to improvise. And that's the importance of training an actor is, and especially when it comes to several different wheelhouses that you have to take on. Very much like the Punisher, you have to have every weapon. You got to be well-rounded. And so with Hallie's training, she went through not only the gun fu, as we call it, but the actual tactical stuff. And she had to learn judo, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing. She had to learn how to perform and train like an actual stunt performer. So not only that, but her reactions, the timing, the distance. So there's a lot of stuff going into it, and we did our very best, and I think she did wonders.
Phenomenal job, man.
Well, Peter, tell us a little more about. Is there anything you can tell us about what you're doing right now? Like anything coming up, anything you've done that people might be able to check out? Or,
sure. A fellow military guy, which you guys need to connect with. His name is Dominic.
Cool.
Dominic McGee is a good friend of mine. He's from England, has been here for about 15 years, if I remember him saying. He was in the military, and beautiful story. Came here with a couple $100 in his pocket, and
classic American dream.
Yeah,
story.
There you go, man.
Now Dominic and I are collaborating with one of my other clients, Katie Cassidy of the show Arrow.
All right,
that's super cool.
Her father was the famous David Cassidy, and from the Partridge Family, and the musician and all that. Looks like, splitting image of him. She's a good friend of mine, and I somehow told Katie, hey, you need to meet my friend Dominic. He has a book, and he's already written 3 of them, and it is this incredible, incredible character that I think you would be perfect for. Not only do you look like this person, but you have the capability and the action and the training that this will require. And the name of the book, which you can pick up at any bookstore, is called Beauty is the Beast. And the front cover is a woman with a Nepalese kukri knife in her back, which looks kind of like a massive machete that's kind of bowed out.
Angled. It's like a coconut.
Yeah,
knife,
it looks
right?
like a boomerang with a handle.
Wow.
And this thing is made to decapitate people. It is like the Vlad the Impaler type of a weapon.
Yeah, that was used
Scare
by
factor
it was
plus
like
10.
the Roman army or the Greeks used that as their primary short sword.
The Gurkhas use it.
Yeah.
Did you
That's
tell me
where
you know
it's
a little
all
bit of
from.
history, Cameron?
I do.
Did you read a
I
book?
paid attention in class, man. I paid attention in class.
in the Gurkha Yeezys, but it's such a just strange exotic weapon. And anyway, Katie and I and Dominic were all collaborating on a project that's now, we just finished filming the first couple pages of the pilot. So that's what's on the back burner right now, and anonymous content is huge. They're looking at it and they really like it.
All right.
We had people at Apple TV look at it and they love it. We kind of need somebody like a Quentin Tarantino to take it by the horns because it's a little dark.
Okay.
But it is, if I had to explain it in a nutshell or soundbite, it's kind of like a John Wick character meets a 007 character, but a female version.
Right on, man.
Okay, right on. That's badass.
I'm down
bro.
for that, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll get you guys the book and I'll have Dominic autograph it. But it's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
It's
Like
great.
Hang it up.
Like Atomic Brunette.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
I thought that up by myself.
Good one, man. You're on it.
Yeah.
We're currently working on that and just getting that down the pipeline. She just finished a film with Mel Gibson, so now we're back onto the scope of dialing this in and just getting it going. In about a couple of weeks, I'm going to be working with, if all goes well, with James Bamford, who is the director of the new Superman.
Oh, right on.
And also through the Arrow universe.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's the director and the man behind all that. So yeah, it's apparently have a fight scene with Mickey Rourke. It's gonna be cool.
No kidding.
So I got a couple of fun little projects lined up.
cool,
you know,
man.
Just staying busy.
That's
Just
cool.
Doing the best I can.
Very busy, yeah. And folks, and anybody, if you want to, Peter Lee Thomas on Instagram, and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, where the fuck did you find this guy, dude?
Dude,
Yeah, this isn't. I thought we were gonna pick up a guest on Craigslist that we found, but you brought a fucking
Offer up.
offer up. You found a superstar. Dude.
He's a
We are
diamond
not
in the
worthy.
rough, that Peter Thomas. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
we're
I'm-
not worthy to have you on this podcast.
I know, man. Watch, this is gonna be the one that puts us in the stratosphere.
gonna put us on the map, man.
Yeah, put us on the map here. We're gonna be number one in Finland now.
Yeah.
So we had some more specific questions that we had prepared for you. We want to see how you react. I want to know martial arts training, fight choreography. I know you've done the real thing, and also you've used it in movies. But have you ever actually gotten into used your martial arts in a real fight?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, the bar's a hell of a place, man.
Yeah.
Especially, living in Huntington Beach, Orange County, there's a lot of bros that just want to always pick on the guy
Test their skills.
that doesn't look like
The guy with really moisturized hair. They don't think he knows what he's doing.
It's usually that, and my other friends have scars on their face and cauliflower ears, so it's always oh, I don't mess with that guy. Let's just screw with this dude.
The pretty boy.
It's always that way. Yeah, and in fact, my wife, we have a funny story attached to this, and I'm going to try to sum this up as quickly as possible. But my wife and her friends at the time, when we were just dating, she was at this place. I won't mention names, but it was a wonderful restaurant that had the great sangria, and they're all having drinks. I show up, and while this is happening, there's a guy that's purchasing, champagne bottles for them at their table, and they're wondering, where the hell is this stuff coming from? So the guy that's, kind of has that Thomas Crown vibe, he's across the table, and he goes over there and tries to schmooze them. And so I show up, and he gets pissed off that I'm sitting with them.
Check out great deals throughout the store at Safeway. This week at Safeway, get mega packs of USDA Choice boneless beef chuck roast for $3.97 per pound with digital coupon, limit 2 packages. Plus, Hass avocados are 10 for $10 member price. And get Fuji apples for just 77 cents per pound with digital coupon. Also this week at Safeway, get selected varieties of Lucerne milk gallons for the member price of $3.99 each when you buy 2. Visit Safeway.com or head into your local store for more deals.
And little does he know that I'm friends with the owner of the restaurant, and my friend, who's now passed, Beto Ibarra, he's a professional boxer. He's in the inside, having a drink to himself. So this guy gets mad. He gets up. He goes, "Hey man, fucking drink's not for you. It's for the ladies." And my girlfriend, who's my wife now, looks at him and goes, "No, he could have a drink. We never asked for you to have this." So things started to get a little strange, and he kept drinking, and he got more of his liquid courage in him. Then he came up and he just whispered in my ear, "Man, I can basically screw your girlfriend anytime I want." Oh. And at that moment, I just saw red curtain.
Yeah, of course. Game over, bucko.
I just put my drink down. I'm like, all right. And then he goes, "I'm going to kill you, man, if you don't leave right now." And then that was it. I'm like, number one, you just insulted my girlfriend and me and her friends. You're using foul language. And then on top of that, you're telling me you're going to kill me?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right,
Escalation
man.
of force. Boom.
That's
physical.
it. Yeah, it was just, I'm like, all right, man, I'll meet you in the parking lot, which was from here to maybe, 15 feet away. So I just go over there, and he just starts charging at me, and I just threw a nasty right cross right at his chin. He actually spun in a 360 degree, and he landed in the bushes, which the sprinklers were going off.
Oh, perfect. Add some insult to injury, man.
It was crazy. It was I just wish I had Stan Bush playing.
Yeah, in the background.
His ensemble.
That would have been so good.
It was just it was crazy. It was a Chuck Norris moment, man. And then it got worse because his buddies stood up, and these guys looked like rugby players, massive dudes.
Oh man.
There was 4 of them that came around me, So then I had to realize, okay, I need to start thinking, like surveying the scene and thinking, I've been in this situation, like in all the sparring that I've done and stuff, and especially the Filipino martial arts, we'll do like 3-on-1 scenarios or 5-on-1 just to simulate real street fighting.
Yeah.
And to pressure test yourself.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I kind of clicked back into that mode. And I've noticed that I was just kind of backing away into these bushes because I wanted to invite them into this small space in which I can
kill
control.
zone, yeah.
Exactly. And I usually carry a knife just because I'm like always opening boxes, or in the stunt world, you're always cutting rope and just doing odds and ends. And anyway, so I thought to myself, if they start to do anything crazy, if they have like a gun or something, I don't know, right? If they're going to swing something at me or bat, I better
bottle or something.
I got to use an equalizer. So, and it's just unfair. There's 4 big dudes trying to kick my ass. Meanwhile, the guy's still like just trying to put sentences together off the pavement. But this one big dude swings. He has his hand behind his back, and he opens it up and he swings a champagne bottle at my head that was empty. And I just lean back, much like if you were to evade a kick, in Thai boxing, you got a kick that comes, you just lean back. Yeah. And you want to do it just subtle enough to where you can then make them pay for missing. Yeah. So he did that, and I just see his big, nice quad. It was like the bigger the target, the better. And I just leg kicked him with my shin right above the knee, which is the worst place to get kicked, just right on the sciatic nerve. And he buckled.
Yeah, probably dropped him, huh?
Yeah, and that was that. And, it's just like you want to just hit one guy and then move on, because I knew the other henchmen were on their way. So it was just that. And I thought, okay, this guy, I'm going to just punt him right in the nuts and then just get him a left hook. So I did that. And then the next guy, I don't even remember. I think I just threw him across. They all had just enough to drink, which was perfect because I was kind of sober. So I was able to kind of squelch this hostile environment fairly quickly.
Yeah, nice.
But it really was a Matrix moment. Everything is in slow motion. You hear your own heartbeat. You don't really. It's just kind of like being in a wave. You're pitted, and you don't see or hear anything other than your own breathing and your heartbeat.
You're focused.
Totally, and adrenaline, and that's the moment where you try to be in awe. You breathe and relax. You control and suppress that adrenaline ball.
Yeah, because you got your fight or flight kicking in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously you got to fight.
And so at that very moment when this all happened, I can hear my girlfriend, just saying like, all right, just go. Because she heard sirens, police sirens. Somebody had called the cops. Yeah. And thankfully my friend was the manager of the restaurant. So when I heard the sirens of the police come, I just ran and jumped down. It was like that scene out of Terminator 2 where he goes down in that ditch.
Like the water drainage
ditch. Yeah. So I hung on, the smalls of my fingers and just let go. And it felt like an eternity of dropping. I actually injured my into
ankle. The darkness?
Yeah.
That's when you injured yourself?
Into the abyss.
Falling into the drainage ditch?
Totally. And I ran and I ran and I ran. And I just, I didn't have my cell phone on me because it was with my girlfriend's in her purse. So I remember running up to some construction guys, and I said, "Hey man, my car broke down. Can I borrow your phone real quick?" Yeah. Luckily, I remembered her phone number, and that was that. She came picking me up.
Always memorize your girlfriend's phone number. Always,
dude. Peter, so that's amazing.
That's an amazing story.
My buddy called me the next day. The manager of the restaurant. He goes, "Hey man, so you broke the guy's jaw. You dislocated his jaw, broke his nose, and he has 2 black eyes." The first guy, yeah. And then I found out that this guy was a creep, and he would always like fondle the waitresses, and he would like try to do really crazy stuff. And he was like one of those guys that would flash his money around. So he was a complete asshole.
Yeah. So you were just karma coming.
Justice. Huh?
Yeah.
Man.
He was best friends with a celebrity that I won't mention names because I don't want this to.
Watch. They're gonna be the 4 guys that got their ass beat. They're gonna listen to this and be like, Peter Thomas, lawyer. We found him. We found him finally. The man with mysteriously good-looking hair.
He was close friends with this famous guy, and so maybe he thought he can get away with things because of that was his inner workings or his circle of friends. Yeah. So I'm like, no man, you disrespect.
Yeah, absolutely. Street justice, dude.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
That was what it was. So that was one of a couple of instances.
That's awesome, man. So that sparked sparks a question in my mind as far as just your martial artist background, because I know a lot of it is, spiritual as well, connected to the wushu, and I don't know a lot about kung fu, so I don't mean to offend if I say anything
No, it's
anything
okay.
noobish. But how, like, as far as just like taekwondo, and I'm a big jiu-jitsu fan, so that's very applicable. If you get anybody to the ground, you can control ground and pound. But as far as a kung fu background, is that really transferable to street fighting? Because street fighting can get dirty.
Yeah. In the words of late great Bruce Lee, you have to train every part of your body, your fingertips, your fists, your shins, your toe, everything has to be basically, it has to turn into a weapon, because all these things are facets of the same thing, regardless of what martial art you study. They're all good. And I don't think there's one that has all the answers. They're all collective, very much like cooking a nice meal. You have to have several ingredients. And that also transcends into choreography to be well-rounded. That way, the talent could then pick up all these things. So going back to your question, yeah, it's been a vast journey. I have studied a lot of different arts, and I'm continually, put in the position of, I guess I could say, putting on a white belt is never a thing that I'm afraid of, because I love to learn new things. And even if you have to train something and come back to it years later, like jiu-jitsu, for instance, I've been around Brazilian jiu-jitsu my whole life. I never really fell into it. I did it here and there, and I would just stop. 5 years would go by, and then I'd do it again for a year, really solid, and then I would stop. So as of yesterday, good time to ask the question, I got my ass kicked. I went to the best MMA gym in the planet. It's called CSW, which stands for Combat Submission Wrestling. If you're fans of Brock Lesnar or Sean Shirk or any of these epic MMA fighters, they all train at this place.
Wow.
And Eric Paulson is the sensei there. And what you're learning there is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You're learning catch wrestling, made famous by guys like Karl Gotch. You're learning Shuto, which is from Japan, shoot wrestling or shoot box. You're also learning just a variety of other art forms, even judo. We did a lot of judo last night. So, in fact, one of the guys that helped with John Wick was there. So it was kind of cool to see
That's
some
awesome,
familiar faces. And Eric Paulson, a lot of people don't know this, but who's my teacher now, he trained Chad Stileski, who is the director of all the John Wicks.
Wow.
So that was one of his training partners and students throughout the
That's
throughout the
amazing,
years.
man. Something you said was really cool about always putting on the white belt. I mean, I'm a firm believer in, always be a student, because I mean, the second you're the smartest person in the room, you need to get the fuck out of that
Yes.
room,
Right.
Because you just plateaued, right?
Oh, yeah.
So that sits with me really well, man. I agree.
Thanks,
That's awesome.
Yeah, you don't want to ever get too comfortable. You always got to be challenging yourself. There's the order and chaos kind of
Oh,
thing.
yeah. Yeah,
Like
totally.
if you have too much order, you get complacent. Too much chaos, you go crazy. But so you're always, if you get too much order, you got to introduce a little chaos,
Yes.
and then you got to go back and forth.
It is the Jedi way, man.
Yeah.
You have to have the balance in the Force, because otherwise, not to sound like Confucius, but it really is, under the stars, man, we're all just one family. So the same approach is within the martial arts, regardless of all the politics involved. And there's so much politics involved in martial arts. Like,
Oh, wow.
the Kung Fu guys will say, oh, no, that doesn't work. That's bullshit. This is better. But I think if you realize that there's a common thread and rather than looking at all the differences of the martial arts, you look at the similarities. And I think that's the beauty in it, is that you continually, you really don't want to leave any stone unturned. And I've just been blessed to train with men like Dan Inosanto, who's Bruce Lee's closest friend and the man who perpetuated the art of Jeet Kune Do. And Taki Kimura was another one who just passed away. He was an original student of Bruce Lee and runs the Jun Fan Kung Fu Institute in Seattle.
Wow.
And it doesn't get any more direct than that lineage.
Yeah.
Man, Peter, I feel like you're like the Forrest Gump of the Kung Fu
Yeah,
and stunt
man.
world. You've had this life where you've woven through, your life has woven together with all these different legends of martial arts and wrestling and stunts and all this kind of stuff. It's pretty awesome, man. And you're still in the thick of it. It's not like you're done
No.
and you're looking back on your career. This is just like the first part of your career.
Man, I feel like I just started. Like the past.
It's a new chapter in your life. pretty much.
The past 12 years of being in the business, I look back and go, wow, I'm just now starting. Like it's taken that long, but I'm not resentful of the process of it being this long or whatever, because I love that. I love to just, put feet to pavement, man, and just grind every day. And just now I'm a father to a 19-month-old baby. And it's just, if there's anything in life that builds a fire under your ass, is looking at your daughter's eyes and saying, you got to be better today.
Yeah.
You can do this. You can do anything.
Oh, that's cool, man.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
You never know
Super
who's watching,
Exactly.
There's people. I got people that send me messages from across the planet, and they're like, man, because of you, I lost 30 pounds, and it just feels good to be able to be in any position whatsoever to help somebody,
Yeah, that's cool.
See,
man.
I wish I was like you. I just get random dick pics sent to me, man. I'm like,
You got to work up to it, man. You got to work up to it. I'm sure you've had your fair
I
share.
need some more inspirational shit.
Knock on plastic. No, I haven't got any of those yet, surprisingly.
I gotta stop letting my girlfriend do my eyebrows. That's why it sends the wrong
Oh my God.
impression.
I think maybe because I have like martial artist on there or something. Maybe. You just got to put like gun enthusiast.
Yeah, gun enthusiast.
All right,
Pro
Peter.
Second Amendment.
Yeah,
All right, you guys.
Exactly.
This is we could do a 3-hour show with you, Peter, but we
awesome.
got to wrap it up for this one. But I would like to play like just a quick little game. All right, we're gonna do some kind of movie trivia, a la fight kind of choreography and stuff like. So it's gonna be called Name That Fight. So we're gonna give you 2 actors that were in a movie. Their characters are having a fight. You got to name the movie that fight is from. All right. So we'll do a quick one real quick, or we'll do the warm up one. So this one is Chris Evans versus Robert Downey Jr.
Oh, jeez, Chris Evans.
And what movie did they fight
Robert
each other?
Downey Jr.
Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr.
Is it Sherlock Holmes?
Nope.
Am I
nope.
off?
No.
He was in Sherlock Holmes, wasn't he? Yeah.
We'll give you 2 more shots. I'll give you a hint. It's a superhero movie.
Oh, okay.
Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans.
The Marvel.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Close. Only 20 more guesses.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I've been punched in the head a lot. True story. No, oh my gosh. Is it the Infinity Wars? Is it?
Close.
Close. The war is in the title. What character does Captain America play?
4,
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
3.
2,
Come on.
1.
It's Captain America Civil War.
Jeez. See, I haven't seen that.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I need to go see that. I'm really behind in a lot of
it's a good warm-up.
Marvel films.
I'm sure with this next one, I have a good feeling you're gonna crack this one in the
man.
dome. All right. So for this one, we have Sylvester Stallone and Carl Weathers.
Oh, Rocky. Man.
Yeah,
Yes,
right out.
dude.
See, now
That's
we're
a
in
classic.
the yeah. Okay, this next
Is
one.
anything 80s or
Yeah,
90s?
no, I got it.
Oh, okay. Then
Stan Bush.
you'll probably get a good.
Stan Bush.
You might get this next one. This one is Roddy Piper versus Keith David.
Oh, wow. You went way back.
Yeah.
WWF days. Roddy Piper. Oh, man.
And what movie did they
I don't
fight
even know
each
this
other?
one.
I love this is a classic.
I dated myself.
I know what hint I'm going to give you if you don't get it.
What's the first letter of the title?
T.
Dude, this is going to haunt me forever.
I'll give you a little hint. In the scene, he's trying to get Keith David to put on a pair of glasses.
Oh, my God.
Put these on.
I know. I see it in the top of my skull. Oh, man.
I'll give you another hint. It's a John Carpenter movie.
Oh, jeez. And I love John Carpenter. This is a mortal
Obviously
sin.
not enough.
Yeah. Couldn't ask me about The Fog or any of the Halloween
We should have prepped him. You
franchises.
should have texted him and be like, hey, we're going to play a game.
You know what's funny?
Do your
about these
research.
questions? I'm actually a big horror film fan versus an action fan. But
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
We'll
bring you back for our Halloween episode.
Yeah, we'll get along just
But
fine.
I do watch a lot of both. But oh my gosh!
All right.
I'm gonna.
They live.
They live. Oh Jesus!
There you go. All right. Now we're gonna get it. Now we're gonna. You should be. I think we're hitting our stride. So go for it, Cam.
Yeah. Okay, this one, easy one for you, just because you're such a Bruce Lee fan. Bruce Lee versus Chuck Norris.
Oh man, that's the Fist of Fury.
Nope.
Is it
No.
the Big Boss?
No.
No.
Oh, which one was that? It wasn't Enter the Dragon. That's
No.
for sure.
With the dragon is in the title.
It's in the title.
Return of no. Oh my god!
I didn't know that. I haven't seen a lot of Bruce Lee movies. Only the big ones.
Oh jeez, it's been a while since I've watched any Bruce Lee film. God, this is kind of embarrassing.
Sorry.
No.
You're just telling me how Bruce Lee was watching you in spirit in your test. Come on, don't do him dirty like that.
Am I gonna get a cheat pick?
I'm supposed to say anything, but look, it's right there. The Way of the Dragon.
Yeah, right.
You know what's interesting
Phone a
about
friend.
those films? They've changed the name. There was the Hong Kong, when the Shaw Brothers and that whole world and that Golden Harvest picture, they changed the name so many times. I actually have DVDs at home and VHS tapes of the name completely different from what it was.
It's the same.
So yeah, like
Company to company.
absolutely.
That's so funny.
So yeah, that could be a little puzzling.
All right. No, we'll give it to you. All right. So
We'll do
this
it.
now it's time for
Lightning round.
the Keanu Reeves lightning round.
Keanu.
All right. First movie: Keanu Reeves versus Hugo Weaving.
Matrix, of course.
There you go. Okay, good.
Hugo Weaving, man.
All right.
Next one.
Keanu versus Dennis Hopper.
Oh, yeah. I just said it.
No, Dennis
No,
Hopper.
Dennis Hopper. I'm not a big fan of Dennis Hopper, strangely enough.
There's a bus in it.
You know what's funny about that? Just a quick side note. Hold on. Is that was Taron Tactical's very first film as a movie extra.
Really?
I bet you nobody knows that.
Oh, wow.
He was following the bus in his car while that was filming.
Which is called.
Now that's
fun
quite
trivia.
impressive, but
That
what's
I
the
remember.
name of it?
But the name of it is called Speed.
Okay, there you go. All right.
There we go. He was just trying to delay some time.
That's
He
right.
was just reeling this in.
I was just setting.
That's
setting
very
bait
interesting. I
traps.
need to check out their facility. And if you're listening, invite me to your facility. Yeah.
All right, next one.
All right, next one. We have, this is a giveaway, Keanu Reeves versus Patrick Swayze.
Point Break.
All right, there you go.
absolutely. That's one of my favorite
That's
movies.
so good.
Fun
I
fact.
refuse to watch the remake because
Oh,
I love the
don't
original.
do it.
Don't.
All right.
Yeah, it
All right.
ruins it.
All right, next one. Keanu Reeves versus Mark Dacascos.
Mark Dacascos.
You went to the premiere.
Oh, John Wick. Duh.
Which one? Which number?
It's 2.
No.
No.
You only
has to
get
be
2 more
one.
guesses. No. No.
John Wick 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mark Dacascos is in that.
Yeah, he's the assassin that comes up. He's like, I'm a big fan. And then they fight at the end.
Yes.
He's like, I'll see you again. And
I was
Keanu's like,
so enamored by Hallie, I forgot about that.
Wait, is that the Asian guy? The big fight sequence
the
in
bald guy?
The bald guy?
Mark Dacascos. We gotta
He's
get him in here,
great.
man.
He's
a
great in that
action
movie.
legend.
Hey, that's right. He is in that.
That fight sequence feels like it lasts 15, 20 minutes.
You know
Dude,
what's
and
funny?
that's just one of 2. That's and
Yeah.
then they got the other 2 guys that he lets go. He's like,
John Wick
"Hey,
3's one entire fight choreography.
It's funny because I've only watched that at the premiere. I've never seen it. Like, I don't even own it on.
Oh, you just
DVD
saw
or-
you saw it the legit way.
That was it. I just
was it?
went, and that was it. But I do need to brush up on a lot of
Okay.
those.
All good, man. We're going to keep the ball rolling.
We got a couple more.
Next
All
one.
right.
Keanu versus Tilda Swinton.
Oh, shit, I don't even know who that is.
I don't
Oh
know.
man, this
I
is
don't know.
this is for my list.
Is it
Is
a
it?
vampire film?
Whoa, it's
Nope.
pretty close.
Pretty close.
Pretty close.
there's monsters in it.
There's holy water involved.
There's holy water in it.
Oh, it's
Shia LaBeouf is in it.
that Lucifer film with the devil and all that.
Yep, pretty much.
Oh my gosh.
I'm honestly, I love that movie. I love this movie. It's
What does
so
the
good.
title start with?
A C.
Is it Cursed?
Nope.
It's a name.
Not the Craft. It is-
Early Holy Roman Emperor.
Oh.
Chris like that one. John.
Gosh.
Constantine.
Yes.
Constantine. It's fine. Man.
This is the slowest lightning round ever.
It's fine. I
right.
would have gotten about 0 of these just because I don't know actors' names. I just know their faces.
And you know what? It's one of those things
Yeah.
where you know it until you get put on the spot, and then all
Oh
of a
yeah.
sudden you don't know.
No, this is terrible.
All right, I just want this to go on record because this was my favorite one. I made this list of all the Keanu Reeves fight
course
scenes,
you did.
and the last one is Keanu Reeves versus the crippling self-doubt at losing the love and attention of a 13-year-old French-Canadian kid. It's Toy Story 4. It's Duke Kaboom. I just wanted to put that.
Keanu
out.
Reeves is
Yeah, he
in-
plays the toy, the little motorcycle riding
way.
guy,
What?
and he's like, "I'm sorry, Jean. You ever see Toy Story 4?"
I haven't seen
I
Toy
just
Story
watched
4.
it. I
Yeah.
know Jeff Garland voices the pony.
Yeah,
The,
Keanu Reeves voices Duke Kaboom, the motorcycle stunt toy. I'm sorry, Jean. You know.
I'm working with Jeff Garland right now. He's in the middle of finishing up Curb Your Enthusiasm, but yeah, he told me about that. Now you just remembered, or you gave me that the very vivid.
I'm glad
conversation.
I could give you that gift. But
I didn't know that he was in that. Holy crap!
Oh man,
Yeah, I haven't even seen Toy Story 4.
Well, you got to get on that, man. All right, so that is all the time we have. Peter,
Yeah.
This is amazing. We could do 20 episodes.
Yeah, I wish it was
my
longer,
friend.
honestly.
You know,
I'm
but
sure the listeners do too.
Yeah, they're going to
Sorry
be
to
like, more.
disappoint guys on the trivia.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Probably
That's
slapping your table. Going,
You should.
What the hell?
Send us an email.
I will be prepared on this one.
All right, cool.
Like I
We'll,
said, horror film, bring it on.
we'll have you
Oh
back,
yeah,
man.
we'll
back.
definitely have you back.
So let people know where they can get a hold of you, watch you, spy
Yeah.
on you.
I don't have
Check your garbage.
My YouTube channel is under construction. I need a little help on that. I do have a 1-800 number, kind of like Bill Murray.
Yeah.
If you have a script, just send it there. No, you can find me on Instagram, Peter Lee Thomas. I do also have a fitness app, similar stuff that I use as far as programming with all my clients. So if you want to learn how to train like Halle Berry or John Wick, go on pltapp.com and subscribe.
Right on,
Fantastic, dude.
Yeah, and you can hang out with me a little bit more on twitch.tv/myhappyself. I broadcast Mondays and Wednesdays from 3 to 8 p.m. and Friday mornings from 7 to noon. And Cameron, where can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, you guys can find me on Instagram at Cameron C. Fath, or you can check out my streetwear apparel company, Kick God, at Kick God Apparel on Instagram. Yeah, Kick God. Yeah, I was like, what? That's my company. I should know that.
.org.
Yeah, .org.net. Yeah, or you can go to the website at www.kickgodapparel.com.
Folks, we post a new podcast every Wednesday. All right. You can find us on Instagram at PCFM Podcast. You can give us an email at pcfmpodcast@gmail.com. And and we're going to keep rolling these out for your listening and now viewing pleasure.
Absolutely. Don't forget to follow, email us, and we are very appreciative that you guys chose to listen in again.
Right on.
I am Cameron Fath.
I'm Israel Wright.
Peter Lee Thomas.
And we are,
Three Amigos.
couple of guys sitting in my living room.
And I guess we're done.
Yeah,
Just
we're
like
done.
that.
That's it.
All right, go home.
Check out great deals throughout the store at Safeway. This week at Safeway, get mega packs of USDA Choice boneless beef chuck roast for $3.97 per pound with digital coupon limit 2 packages. Plus, Hass avocados are 10 for $10 member price. And get Fuji apples for just 77 cents per pound with digital coupon. Also this week at Safeway, get selected varieties of Lucerne milk gallons for the member price of $3.99 each when you buy 2. Visit Safeway.com or head into your local store for more deals.
It's important to properly dispose of unwanted medication or sharps. MedProject offers free and convenient disposal options near you. To learn more, call 844-MED-PROJECT or visit medproject.org.